Hello, welcome, hold on. Hello, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be talking about my gear that I took on the West Highland Way walk. Let's get it out of the way first. If you're new to the channel, do hit subscribe and hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it. It really helps with the support. We're up to nearly 2,000 subscribers now, which is just hard to believe. So yeah, please do that and hit the bell notification. So I weighed in around 7.3 kilos. I'm going to take you through some of the things and hopefully give you some ideas if you are thinking of doing a walk, and just give you some ideas around what I take with me on a walk like this in terms of the lightness of it and the gear that I use. I've had some comments from people asking me to do that. So here it is. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here is the pack that I took. It's the classic Osprey Exos 48 litre. It's the old version, so it's a bit moth eaten. I got it second hand actually. It's still got the tag on from when I flew up to Glasgow from Heathrow. I prefer the colour scheme on this one, and I know the new one is different in terms of that, and also it doesn't have the hip belt pockets as well. But as you know, this is fairly classic. A lot of people have this. It weighs about 1.2 kilos. It has the AirScape system at the back, so it just means it keeps ventilation through to your body, so it keeps the load away from your back. It's got the suspension system so that it just keeps all of the weight onto your hips. So a really good pack. I just open it up. So the brain is detachable, but I put my waterproofs in here. So first things first, just so they were accessible, I've got some Berghaus trousers in there. Obviously Scotland can get really wet, so they were really important to have those. And again, as I mentioned, accessible, so I put them in the brain in the top. This is detachable. I think it weighs about 350 grams on its own. The trusted Vaseline. This is quite sentimental to me now. It's been on 2 trips, so it just helps with blisters. I didn't get any blisters on this trip, and just made sure my feet were clean, and I had a clean pair of socks as often as I could. And yeah, this has been on the coast to coast and also the West Highland Way. Then in here again, so it's accessible. If it started raining, I could just get straight to it. It's quite heavy. I've done a separate review on this jacket, but it was wicked. It didn't let me down at all when we did get rain. I was lucky with the weather. It's the North Face Quest jacket. It weighs about 450 grams. I'll put all of the weights and list out all of the gear below the video so you can see everything. Right, so next up, food. So I took a couple of these with me. 2 of these, I'd say, and then 2 breakfasts, and then I had some cereal bars and stuff like that, and a bunch of coffees. And there were plenty of places to stop along the way, so I tried to keep light by only taking a couple. Gas, so standard. I didn't take this one. I think it's the 200 gram, the smallest one you can get. And yeah, just to keep it lightweight. Obviously you can't take it on a plane, so I had to get it there, and then I binned what I had left before I came back. So here's my electrical bag. So I've got it in an Osprey stuff sack there, just to keep it waterproof. And if I show you, so this was legendary. So I would recommend this so heavily because I relied on it so much, and it just kept going. It just, when it was charged, it just would charge my phone over and over in the GoPro. So I had a RAV power bank, 10,000 milliamp. This is an Energizer 10,000 milliamp. Bought this in a bit of a rush before, just from Argos, but absolutely brilliant bit of equipment. USB cable for the old to charge up my phone, etc., and then a plug as well. Standard. And then my light, this is the 4-class Trek. Got a video on this, Trek, I can't remember, something. And around 99 grams. It's not the lightest one, but again, really useful, especially as those nights were drawing in. I went in September, so it's getting dark. So yeah, this was wicked as well. And then just the cable to charge said head torch up. So all of that stuff. And then what's next? So this, this was really useful. So it's a windbreaker effectively, so a RAB windbreaker. So I used it, sometimes I'd wear this on top of like a t-shirt as I was doing the walk. I think this weighs about 250 grams. And it just packs down nice and small, but just another nice option And then, so in here were all of my clothes. So again, in an Osprey 12 litre dry sack again. This one was a 4 litre for the electronics, I believe. And then a 12. So it has things like my sleeping clothes in it. So I have a Montane synthetic layer, I'll show you, to sleep in. Because it's just so comfortable. I don't personally get on very well with the merino wool. I find it quite scratchy. So here is the, yeah, this is the layer that I like to sleep in. Really, really comfortable, definitely worth the price. I have a spare pair of hiking socks, so I think I slept in these on the first night. These are Bridgedale Cool Max. Again, really comfortable, and feet, as you know, feet maintenance is really important. If you want to avoid blisters, I've got some North Face leggings to sleep in. I also walked in leggings as well, so I had 2 pairs of leggings with me and a pair of shorts to walk in during the day, and I slept in that stuff, and then just a spare pair of socks. It got pretty cold. It got down to like 2 or 3 degrees at night, so kept me nice and warm. Okay, let's go outside briefly, just because it's there. This is wicked. This is cheap as chips. Decathlon down jacket. I was going to get something a bit better, but it's light, and it doesn't cost, I think it costs $39.99. I've had one of these before, so, and it's got a bit wet, so I wanted to get a new one. And yeah, it's just worked really well, and it's super lightweight, so why wouldn't I get the same one again? So that was really good. I had 2 smart water bottles, so standard, and I kept them on the outside of the pack, so they were nice and lightweight. I probably could have got away with using one, and I didn't filter any of my water. Not here is the Sawyer mini water filter, which I did take with me, but I didn't use it at all. There's loads of water around to filter, but also in taps and stuff and bars and various things, so I didn't need that. So 2 smart water bottles, I think 800 millilitres on either side, and I tried to keep them full as often as I could. Then the Thermarest X Light sleeping mat. R value, I'll put it below 2 something possibly, but yeah, keeps me nice and warm in those cold nights. It got down to 2 degrees or something in Scotland, so yeah, that was really, really good. I would prefer the warmer version because it did get so cold, and a couple of nights I was a bit cold, but this worked really well, very comfortable. More comfortable than, or warmer I'd say, probably than the Luft by Trekology, although I've yet to take that out in a cold environment or camp. And then Trekology pillow. This was wicked, super lightweight. You've all seen this before. Really comfortable. Toiletries. So I had a separate little bag trying to keep the weight down. So toothbrush, toothpaste. I kept my medical kit in here. I've got some Compeeds as well on the route, earplugs, that kind of stuff. Sanitizer. I got some, like, I took some ibuprofen and paracetamol and all that kind of stuff, so it all just went in there. Then this was my cook kit, so I got rid of like the sack. This is the Tokes 550 milliliter. I've got the MSR Pocket Rocket in here, and the Sea to Summit mug, and then the lighter in here as well, and just elastic band around the whole thing. And yeah, got rid of the sack just to try and keep the weight down as much as possible. And the pièce de résistance was actually, this is my sleeping bag. So I thought this was my tent. So this is the Rab Neutrino, the XL version. It's 3-season, but packs down nice and small. I think it's 400 fill power. Really cool bit of kit. Okay, so it's this one here. It's the Lanshan 1 Pro. I had the Hubba NX before I took on the Coast to Coast. I wanted something a bit lighter and a bit larger. I'm quite tall, so this worked well. Single walled tent. It's the Pro version, as mentioned. I think the other version has two layers, an inner and an outer. But the condensation was heavy on this. So everything laid out. There we are. A couple of things I didn't mention is head net. Didn't actually use it for midges. Pretty bad in Scotland, but because of the time of year I went, it was only at Sallocky on day 1 that I really got them at the end of the day. And then I keep this in the hip belt, so it's just the cover for the Osprey. I used this a lot when it got wet, just to cover up the Osprey exhaust. And then my boots. So I use Salomon X Ultra They're a nice shade of blue, but actual shoes, so a little bit lighter, and I prefer those. They're obviously waterproof Gore-Tex, and you can just move around a lot quicker in them, and that was kind of my focus. So just in terms of weights, the sleeping bag was 835 grams, the backpack 1.2 kilograms, 1,200 grams, the tent was 740 grams on my scales, the sleeping mat was 459 grams. I also had some travel towel, kept that in the side pocket just to wipe down the condensation from the inner tent. I've not spoke about my walking poles, so I had some poles from Decathlon. They weighed 482 grams, and they failed on me at the coast to coast walk, and this time they were done by the end of this walk, so I actually threw them away at the end of the walk. So my base weight, excluding fuel and consumables, came in at 7.3 kilograms, just shy of that. As I said, I'll put all of the weights and links to everything below. Yeah, I guess alternatives then. I wanted to get the Osprey Levity to replace this rucksack, but I just didn't have time to purchase all this stuff. I think I mentioned I moved house before. So there's some other things that I wanted, that I could have got, which were lighter, like maybe a lighter waterproof jacket perhaps, or a down jacket, but ran out of time, and to be honest, I had everything and it all worked fine. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoy it, and please hit subscribe. It does really, really help to support the channel. And thank you so much to all of the subscribers so far. First video from the new place. I will see you guys on the next video, and thanks for watching. Take care. Peace out.